Thank you for interviewing and letting me the honor of sitting here. My name is Chief Cadmus Delorme. I'm Chief of the Cowes First Nation. I'm 34 years young. I have no kids that I know of. I had quite the journey to get to my position of where I am today. I was raised on the Cowes and Ochapowace First Nation. My parents attended residential school. I'm the youngest of 9 kids. I'm the only one from my mom and dad. My mom and dad had previous families. Growing up at my house, you used to hear, honey, your kid and my kid are beating up our kid. I was our kid. So I had 9 siblings that were the police of me, that made sure that I was always doing right. And I had 2 parents that wanted to have a better life for their baby, as they would say. So they always pushed me to school. From grade 1 to grade 6, I never missed a day of school. My parents wouldn't let me miss school. They would drive me when the bus wouldn't come, so they set the tone right away that education was key. When I was 10, my mom graduated from university, so I watched a family member get a degree in education, so it really set the tone for me. During my teenage years, like every other teenager, I was tested a lot and overcame it. Eventually made it to First Nations University of Canada. I came here, I got a business degree in my undergrad, and really set the tone for me coming to First Nations University, because it really showed me that Indigenous knowledge is something that you must believe in. It's something that you just can't read about and go talk about. You have to believe in Indigenous knowledge. And that really set the tone for me at First Nations University of Canada. This university helped me conceive the information through my mind. It helped me believe and conceive. I eventually got a couple years experience, and then I went to get my master's degree in public administration. And I learned my whole master's in Muniao bureaucracy, in government, like provincial, municipal, federal. So it really took a new tone for me. I had to broaden my horizons. I had to put down my beliefs and my thoughts of, so strong Indigenous, to understand that there's a different kind of government out there. So now I kind of walk in both worlds. I can flip on my bureaucracy, my federal terms, provincial terms, municipal terms. Then I can go home and turn on my Indigenous terms, because Indigenous governance is different. It's unique. So, I was elected chief in April. The people thought it was time. I've been chief for 9 months. I have 9 gray hairs because I get one every month. So. But it's an honor to be the chief. But at the end of the day, I'm Cadmus. I'm just a new way of thinking. Very proud. I have my braid to honor my ancestors. I know my language a little bit upsee, still learning. But that's something that I'm doing now, is rediscovering myself as a Nehewak and Anishinaabe person. So yeah.
Excellent. So, in the context of Indigenous knowledge, could you share your views on the importance of sustainable development, maybe both in economic development and social streams?
Yeah, so sustainable means that, ongoing. You always hear the 7 generations. So easy to say it. It could be a political term, it could be a paper term, 7 generations. But what does that actually mean? We have Line 3 coming through Treaty 4 right now. That's one of the pipelines. How is that going to affect 7 generations? Yes, it's going to sustain the economy today. It's going to create jobs today. It's going to help our northern economy of oil. It's going to get oil down to the east, down to the south. We're talking different pipelines. I'm just using that one as one example. Is it creates money in pockets today, but is it sustainable for the 7th generation? The land is something that we always have to keep in mind to protect it and preserve it for the 7th generation. In the second part of your question, there's 3 different levels to economic participation, as I'll call it, from an Indigenous perspective. There's your interpersonal, and that's where it starts with your heart and your mind. Everybody has to know that they have to conceive the information and they have to believe it. If it's business, if it's health, if it's trades, whatever it is, you're going to participate in the economy somehow. If you're just going to sit back at home and collect a social assistance check, you have to retrain your thoughts and your beliefs, because everybody should play a role. And there's some out there that don't have that opportunity. Maybe it's a disability, maybe it's just not enough support, but there has to find when. That's where we have to get into the systematic. That's the second part. So interpersonal, then the systematic, and that's where your governments play a key role. People have to run to places for training, for school, for just to get lifted up and dusted off. And then there's the society side. There's the third one, and that's an economic participation part. Is society has to make sure that everybody is a part of it, because there's two groups of people that live in, we'll say, Treaty 4. That's where we're sitting right now. There is the equality and inequality people. And equality people, they were raised to go to work, they were raised to go to school. Then you have an inequality that, the intergenerational trauma could have been from residential school, could have been from just bad luck. But, if we forget about the inequality people, then that's not economic participation from a society level. We have to make sure that we balance the two. And that's why you'll always have conservatives say one thing, liberals say another thing. In the province, you'll have the SAS party, you have NDP, but you always have to test their policies. What about the inequality people? What about the inequality and quality people?